Hi everyone and welcome to Fresh from my garden. This is the front garden where I had planted some flowering bulbs 3 to 4 weeks back. So now most of them have started germinating and I wanted to share an update of those. And I also have a few of the flowering bulbs that I had planted in previous years that have started to bloom. So do watch the entire video and take a look at the different things that we have growing in our garden. Starting with the saffron bulbs that I had planted into this container, and I had also saved the package so that I could identify what I had planted in this container. And as you can see, all of them have germinated well. I had 5 bulbs of saffron that I had planted in this container, and they have grown well. And now, this is the pink curcuma that I planted in this pot in the ground. I didn't have enough space in the ground, so I also planted a bulb in a container. And this is the Tritonia bulbs, and I got around 8 to 10 bulbs of Tritonia, a lot of bulbs from the Curcuma, and also Narine bulbs. So, all of these bulbs have been planted, few of them in containers and in the ground. And I also have rain lilies in this patch which have been growing for a couple of years in my garden. I have the white and the pink rain lilies, and I also recently planted yellow rain lilies in a container. So we have few of these Tritonia bulbs that I planted in between these rain lilies, and almost all of them have germinated, or some of them are just starting to germinate. So once all of these are grown well, I am looking forward to seeing a lot of beautiful different colored flowers in this patch of our garden. Towards the end of this patch, I have a couple of daylilies that I had planted. So I got 2 bulbs of daylilies, and both of them have germinated well. I have previously purchased fully grown flowers from bulbs from the nursery, and I have lost a lot of plants after the growing season. But this year I decided to grow them from bulbs myself. And this is the Narine and this is the Curcuma. So the ones that I planted in the container germinated faster than the ones that I planted in the ground. So they are looking really healthy and the growth is really good, and they are doing well after almost 4 weeks of planting. So with some in the ground and some in containers, I'm hoping to see a lot of flowers. Now this is our lawn, front lawn, the space towards the edge of the lawn where I had planted some of the flowering bulbs. I had shared that in the previous video while I was planting all these bulbs. So I have a Dracaena, a hydrangea, a couple of roses in the ground here. That is where I have planted these bulbs in between those plants so that they can fill up that space with a lot of flowers during the summertime. So a lot of these have grown well. You can see that some have grown better than the others, and this place will be filled up with a lot of flowers during the summertime. It has been really exciting to grow these plants from bulbs, and I have previously grown some gladiolus flowers from bulbs, and sometimes they do well and sometimes they don't. But I'm hoping to see a lot of new flowers in our garden this year. Now for an update of the previously planted bulbs that haven't flowered yet. And this is the ranunculus bulb that I planted a few months back, and it has germinated and grown well. but unfortunately, the freesia bulb that I planted in another container at the same time did not germinate. So, ranunculus is a flower that I'll be growing for the first time this year. Now, this is another flowering bulb that I purchased online. So, I had purchased the Glorisha and the Lycrosis bulb, and I had planted both of them in this tire planter, but only one of this germinated. I'm not sure which one this is. And in this tire planter, I also had a lot of celosia flowers and gomphrena flowers. So I saved a lot of those seeds and I planted them back into the container. And some of the plants also self seeded and they grow into new saplings. So this is the flower that I shared in the beginning of the video. This is a lily and it has started blooming. It has sent out a flower spike and I am really happy to see this, and I'm looking forward to see a lot of blooms in our garden this summer. There are a lot more flowering bulbs that I want to experiment with, and maybe next year I will try some more flowering bulbs for my garden. So, I hope you liked today's update from our garden, and I really enjoyed sharing the germination rate of the flowering bulbs because they were not as disappointing as the flowering seeds that I planted earlier. So stay tuned for more updates from my garden, and please don't forget to support and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching Fresh from my garden.